All the way till 10 a.m. My name is Johnny Hughes, and I hold in my hands a pouch full of identity cards and some bank cards belonging to a gentleman called Kwe Uzel Echampon, or Uzel Echampon Kwe. Ghanaian, I'm sure you live in the UK at some point. You misplaced your pouch. You need to come identify yourself and then pick them up. Good Samaritan brought them by, so please tell Uzel Kwe. Uzel Echampon Kwe. Uzel is Echampon Kwe. I'll tell him that his pouch full of identity cards and bank cards are right here at 3FM 92.7. At least we can do as a media organization to help those who are in need. Now, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, who currently is on suspension, is headed to the ECOWAS court. What is she going to look for at the ECOWAS court? Because we do know that here in Ghana, she's supposed to be appearing before a committee set by the dictates of Article 146, the President, consultation with the Council of State, put together that committee. So what exactly is Chief Justice Tokonu going to do at the ECOWAS court? Well, the relief she's seeking include declaration that the suspension of her person from the role of Chief Justice violates human rights. A declaration also that the panel instituted to investigate allegations of misconduct was not constituted to guarantee the independence of the said committee, or if you like, the said group. She's also seeking an order to direct the Republic of Ghana to lift the suspension and restore her, the Chief Justice Gertrude Esaba Tokonu, to office. Also, she's urging the ECOWAS court to award a $10 million fine as compensation for moral and reputational damages suffered as a result of her suspension. So, in a nutshell, these are the four things that the Chief Justice on suspension is asking for the ECOWAS court to do. There's fire on the mountain, the song in the background, Asha, of Nigerian origin. Is there fire really on the mountain? Engineer Theophilus Jimega Jr. Kojo is a private legal practitioner. Is also an engineer by now, you know, member of the NDC's communications team. Engineer, good morning. Thank you for your time.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm greater than Accra. Leberage Chris Malmhese is also a private legal practitioner. He will be joining us via phone so we can have this conversation. First of all, let me begin with you, Engineer, and ask you, this is what the learned Chief Justice on suspension thinks, that she has not been treated fairly. She suffered reputational and moral damages. She's heading to the ECOWAS court. Restore me back to the, if you like, status quo ante. Give me $10 million. And then also look at the other issues I'm raising. Does she have a case?
Johnny, good morning. I always listen to your program on my way to work in the morning.
You. I'm grateful, sir.
Yes,
grateful.
From all the guys from Abulakuma to Kwabenya to all the guys. I wonder how you remember their nicknames and just the voice, and you are there, you get them.
Yeah. The work is the work.
Yes, so maybe one day have a face-to-face with all of them. And
yes, I will.
You'll be surprised at some of them. You'll be like, wow, you this small and you this big. And yeah.
I met him in Kwabenya one of the days, and he didn't sound like his voice.
Yes, you see. So sometime maybe one day
let's look for. It didn't sound like his personality.
Let's look for some funding one day and gather all of them.
As you're a rich engineer, there, you have to sort me out.
Yes, I will. Okay. I will go by the last one, the award of $10 million for moral and reputational damage.
Right,
Johnny. I think no other person has damaged the reputation of the suspended Chief Justice more than herself.
I don't understand.
Yes, I will explain it.
Great.
I don't know whether you watched the videos the last time she was at the Supreme Court.
Yes.
The way people were thrusting phones into her face to take pictures of her. Even when she was seated in court, the way people were able to take pictures of her and showed the whole world.
Right.
And when you go to court, as I always say, the clerk will announce her ladyship Justice Saki Tokono versus the Attorney General. Then she will stand up.
Oh.
Yes. You see, you say, oh, that has shocked your conscience. Then the clerk will say, my lords, the applicant is here.
Sunrise on 3FM.
Then the clerk or the lawyers, the judges will say, sit down. I mean, This is a clerk when you were in your prime and you come into the office, literally might lie on the floor for you to walk on her. Now she's saying, Saba Tokonu, raise her hand for you to, and maybe she knows already she has to stand up.
Right.
I mean, that's a bit, we all go through it, but I don't think you should avail yourself to such a thing. Then, Johnny, I believe you have paid attention to the number of people who phone in every day.
Right.
I may not be statistically correct, but I don't think more than 1% spoke in favor of her. And sometimes she will listen to some of these things. Judges are not in isolation. She has family, the children, the wife, the other family members will also listen to some of these things.
Right.
And they may be talking that the way these things is going, please, let's drop it. So I don't think anybody has damaged her more than her reputation, more than self-inflicted reputational damage she has done to herself.
Right.
Indeed, the suspension is just like how somebody will be on interdiction. And should everybody who is on interdiction come up to say that I have been morally and reputationally damaged, so I need damages? No, it doesn't work that way. Now, the president was right in suspending her. Look at the amount of fight she has put up. Assuming that fight is translated into while she's in office and this process is still ongoing, and some of the panels will be chaired by her, what would we have had? So I think it's in the wisdom of the framers of the Constitution that when such a thing happens, the person being powerful, let him or her step aside. But the nutshell is that I think the Chief Justice has descended into an arena of self-entitlement. The audio, the bite you just played.
That was except from the press conference.
The press conference, she said she's not fighting for something like for herself, but she's fighting for justice and her position. But when you look at where the matter is going now, I think she's more than fighting for herself.
The Chief Justice says she's fighting for the judiciary.
Yes, and
which
justice
includes you.
Yes, no, I'm not part. I'm just an officer
of the court.
Yes, of the court.
Yeah, but
I can decide not
it's
to.
It's a bigger umbrella.
I listened to a colleague friend of mine who is now he's also an engineer. He says that you can take your law. You can be calling me lawyer, but I don't have anything to do with
you. Go and do your engineering.
I'll do my engineering, so you can take. Yes, but back to our issues we are discussing. I think that the ECOWAS court cannot just tell us that, look, yank Article 146 from your constitution, deal with the rest. When we finish with Justice Tokonu, insert Article 146. Why? It is the office we are protecting. The Constitution protects the office, not the person. The rights accrued to the office, not the person. What rights is she fighting for that the rights have been violated? Until the second GBA resolution, or the GBA resolution. The GBA's news item first said that GBA said the process so far is fair and simple.
In fact, that was the first press release.
Press release, yes.
Until the second one came where they took another stance.
It was not even a press release. It was a hurriedly arranged resolution.
The meeting
at the
Labadi Beach, you mean?
Yes.
But the invitation was if you didn't attend. You chose not to attend.
No, it is not about attending. It is about, before a resolution is passed, it has to be sent to the Secretariat.
Right.
Before it's placed on the item as an agenda item. So they could have done that. And we are lawyers. We are supposed to know things like that. You can't just wake up and say, let us go. And if you listen to what actually happened in that meeting, I mean, let's leave it. Otherwise, we'll go into another arena. But in essence, GBA said the process so far had been good. We pray everybody continues procedurally well. Now, you go to ECOWAS court that your rights are being violated.
Right.
The president has acted within the Constitution. ECOWAS court will also take note of all these things before coming to a conclusion. Where I sit now, if she were my client, I would have advised her not to do that. And I believe that will come to naught.
It is a learned former leader of the bar, the former attorney general, who is advising the suspended leader of the bench. These are two leaders in one group. How
you mean
Godfred Dami is
I think let's go beyond Godfred Dami. I understand at the proceedings her lawyer is Ayukwe Otu, also a former leader of the bar.
That's right.
Yes, but
so how is it that the former leaders of the bar and then an embattled leader of the bench, cannot get it right. They certainly cannot be wrong, because these are, towers, if you will, within the judiciary space. Yes?
Yes. So there is the idea of advising, and there's also the idea of accepting the advice. There are two different things. I'm a lawyer. Mine is to advise you.
Okay.
Yours is to take it or throw it away.
Then walk away if your advice is not.
Yes.
But then the lawyers haven't walked away.
You can still come back. The lawyer will say, if you want to do this one, I will not follow you here. But if you want to do this, I will follow you. So perhaps there are more than one opinions, and she decides to take one. The lawyer is waiting. When you come back, I'll still follow you with the other one. We don't know what goes on there.
Right.
But what type of counsel is she receiving? And how is she using the counsel? Johnny, perhaps you should dig and see. Buhari, who is being buried today,
right,
remove the Chief Justice of Nigeria.
Right.
That Chief Justice of Nigeria, who would have walked just to Abuja, the court there, didn't go to the court there. Okay? And we are coming all the way from Ghana. I don't mean that's a barrier, but that should tell you that procedurally, ECOWAS court cannot throw away your constitution and just follow something because you have come to it. It won't happen. So if I were advising her, I'll tell her these are the pros and the cons. And it's unlikely for you to get that. Now, she's claiming that an order should be directed at the president
to restore her.
The Constitution has made provision for that. If the president thinks it fit, the president will restore her. You mean that the ECOWAS court will now tell the president that we think you are not thinking it fit to restore her, so you restore her? That will not happen. Now, she's also saying that the committee formed was not well constituted. The terms or the people to be on the committee are defined in the Constitution. 2 Supreme Court judges, 3 others who are neither lawyers, members of Council of State, nor parliamentarians.
Right.
The 3 are neither or any of this. So where is the problem? ECOWAS court will look at that and say, hey, they have followed that procedure. She talks about maybe prima facie was not properly established, etc. Johnny, prima facie just means on the face of it or having a look at it, you have a question to answer.
Okay.
So the president looks at it and say, hey, you have a question to answer. The president needs not write and say, I made a determination based on A, B, C, D, E.
Right.
No.
That should be held in camera.
That should be held in camera. And all this is supposed to be held in camera. And you decide that all the procedure that is supposed to be held in camera, you are making it public.
What is wrong with that?
He who comes to equity must do equity. You can't be asking us to do one thing and you will not be doing the same thing. It doesn't work like that. Even in nature. It doesn't work like that.
So you're saying that the Chief Justice got it wrong by addressing the press?
Very, very wrong. It's even a ground. If someone submits a petition today, it's enough grounds for her removal. Because, she took an oath to defend, protect, and uphold the Constitution.
Of the Republic of Ghana.
And what she did was unconstitutional. And if an unconstitutional act can lead to the removal of the president, how much more or how much less a Chief Justice? So someone could take their hair on that, but I think she has enough troubles now, and I would have thought that she would have advised herself to say, let me deal with this. And if she were maybe my sweetheart, I would say, hey, sweetheart, you have fought. Future will remember you. History will remember you. Live it this way. Let's move on.
Would you agree with those who seem to suggest that the Chief Justice running to, or if heading to the ECOWAS court, means that she doesn't believe in the judiciary she superintended over for all these years?
They are not far from right. Because the question you'll be asking is, if the judiciary you superintended. Let me give you history. Let's go here.
Right.
Now, in 1981, when before 81, when Liman was in power,
right,
Apalu was to be removed because they said you should go for vetting.
Right.
Quickly, you will notice in the famous Tues versus Attorney General case, the judiciary protected him. Now, fast forward, we had Justice Aban.
Right.
The Aban versus it was GBA versus Aban and Attorney General.
Okay.
That he's not a person of high moral character. The Supreme Court says, hey, you want to remove him by going through the back door. Go and use the appropriate route. That ended it. We have the Aqua case, which led to the famous Ajechum we are all talking about.
Right.
See how they handle it. Now we have this particular issue where the first case in court was 3-2. The next one was 4-1. The next one was 5-0.
That's right.
Johnny, I've said it several times. If I visit you today in the morning, and whilst in your room waiting for breakfast, and I smell cocoa, say, I know the breakfast will be cocoa.
Right.
So the type of smell you get will tell you the type of breakfast you're having. So even if your own colleagues are not able to, within this situation, to say, let us look for something and rally around her. Johnny, assuming she comes back, that she's now the CJ, will she be able to work with the people she sort of bastardized?
She's pointed accusing figures at some of her colleagues, including those who are on the committee.
How will she be able to work with them? That will be difficult. Assuming those two on the committee are taken out, then those who gave the 5-0 against her, how will she look? That is 7 already.
Right.
I mean, Johnny, it will be difficult to work in that environment because she sort of is creating a toxic environment. I'm being charitable to her because if she's still a lawyer, she'll be a very, very senior lawyer. Indeed, I met her during the mother-in-law's funeral. Her brother-in-law was my classmate at the mining school.
Okay.
So yes, I have that respect. Let's be charitable to her. She's a nice person. But we are talking about the office of the Chief Justice. We are not talking about her in a person. No. And the Constitution is so clear that let's follow ABC. And I trust in the counsel of His Excellency, the President. Those around her giving him advice are doing well. And the processes have been followed to the latter. Now, the Chief Justice, suspended Chief Justice, knows that when you attack a judge, the judge will not have the opportunity to defend himself or herself in public. And it's the more reason why her press conference was frivolous, needless, because the judges on those committees cannot come out and say, let us also talk to the public about some of the allegations you made against us. And she knows that is why lawyers are always advised not to attack judges in public because the judges will not have the opportunity
to respond.
So if you advise us and you are supposed to be creme de la creme of all the judges we have and you're doing the, no, it's unfortunate.
Until the embattled Chief Justice spoke to the nation and told us where the sittings were actually happening, we didn't know about the
venue.
The venue.
Yes, so you see that they follow the in-camera hearing.
So we didn't know about it.
No.
Now we know.
Yes. You see, again, if she had gone quietly to the committee to say, let's discuss this. It's giving me headache. Please consider it. I mean, there are times you go to court. You will notice that the case is stuck against your client. Instead of fighting it head on, you can make a submission to say, my lord, my lady, consider it this way. In the interest of this, can we consider it this? Yeah, they are human beings. They will listen to you. But now you have put everything in public domain now. You're saying that people are not being allowed to support you. Assuming I want to go there and support her, would I be allowed in? And you organize 10 of your people, including Eben from Kwabenya, to say that let's go and support Chief Justice. And they have allowed 3 already to support her. Where would they draw the line? Then the in-camera, which, pay attention to that in-camera in the Constitution, is italized. It means there's an emphasis on it.
Right.
The wording, the font used there is different from the normal font.
That's right.
So there's an emphasis on it. It is something we all need to pay attention to. So I think that it's unfortunate the path the suspended Chief Justice is going. I think it's time for reset. She should reset and take time and reflect.
Liberate Chris Malm Hesse is a private legal practitioner, is joining us on the phone line. Counsel, good morning. Thank you for your time.
Good morning, my brother. Thanks for having me. And good morning to your listeners.
Great. Now,
and I think you have a panelist.
Yes. It's a colleague lawyer in studio, and we're getting this conversation on the road anyway. Now, the Chief Justice on suspension is headed to the ECOWAS court. Is she thinking right?
Yes, I believe she's thinking right. To go to the ECOWAS court, one must invoke the jurisdiction properly so-called under the ECOWAS protocols. And in invoking the ECOWAS protocols, it has nothing to do with whether the domestic processes has been exhausted. What the learned Chief Justice needs to show before the court is whether or not the matter has in one way or the other been in any of the fora. Yes, I say fora because she has been at the High Court, she's been at the Supreme Court, and currently she has invoked the review jurisdiction of the court. I've heard a number of my colleagues say that it is needless for her to do that. I mean, when it comes to human rights, the ECOWAS court, which by its revised protocols in 2005 by way of supplementary treaties, expanded the jurisdiction of the court. And also, if you look at the Human Rights Court at the African Union, it also indicates that, yes, in the situation where the party has not been to any court domestically at all, that's when the court would decline jurisdiction. And that is why I believe that, yes, it is in her fair right to. I mean, yes, there's a difference between wisdom and knowledge. One would say that wisdom would say, let sleeping dogs lie, go through this, go through that. Knowledge would also give the person the impetus to try and exhaust what the person believes is legitimately his or is legitimately right or not. And in exhausting the frontiers of law, sometimes it grants a noble situation for new principles to be established and for precedents to be laid. Lawyers, I mean, before one becomes a judge, that person is a lawyer at first and foremost. You are not trained to be a humble lion. The fact that you have plethora of problems surrounding you does not mean that you should die a humble death. She believes in her rights, and I believe that the invitation for her to sleep silently is not reasonable. If she believes she has a claim well seated in human rights, she should be allowed to, just as any juristic person could positively affirm his or her rights in any court, whether local or international.
Now, if you look at the processes so far, she's had cause to actually point accusing fingers at some of her colleagues, especially those on the committee that is hearing her matter per Article 146. She's raised questions about some of the decisions of the Supreme Court regarding her application before the court 5-0 and all of that. The question that the lawyer in studio has asked is, will she be able then to work with these colleagues that she's pointed accusing fingers at, assuming that the ECOWAS court grants her the relief of saying that reinstate her to the status quo ante? Will that work? What do you see?
I mean, these are eminent judges who have high standing at the bar, first as lawyers, and also as judges. Some of them have been career judges for a long time. If you look at the Chief Justice, she's 38 years at the bar. She's done 21 years at the court, and that runs similarly with other senior judges on the bench. I mean, should in the situation where the ECOWAS court gives those interim orders, safe to hear the substantive matter, I don't believe that there will be rancor at the bench in respect of her resumption of duty. They are professionals, and that will not usher in any chaos at the bench. They are because they know that they have taken the judicial oath under the Constitution, and they owe it to the Constitution, not to their personal idiosyncrasies. It's about the statehood of Ghana and the judicial duties under the oath that they have sworn under to carry out. So it would have nothing to do with their personal differences. Yes, even at the bar, people have personal differences, but when it comes to the legitimate dispensation of justice, it happens at the bar and even the bench. So yes, and more so as they are a faculty or a college of judges at the Apex Court. This should not be
on 3FM,
a matter that should descend into anarchy. No.
Now, you come back to the conversation as to the confusion in the minds of some Ghanaians. While she is before the ECOWAS court, will she still be attending upon the committee here? What's supposed to happen?
So if you look at the release that she's looking at, she's challenging the very primacy of all of those things, including the fact that her suspension, she believes that was not done right. She believes it was capricious and all of that, and that she had not been heard right, and that forms the reason for she going to the ECOWAS court. She also says that she also asked for a relief of $10 million, and that would come up after the court has landed safely. I use the word landed safely because where the court is able to cede to her arguments, it would naturally yield in law to the 10 million. But where the court thinks otherwise, that would be, and even as to whether or not should the court even cede to the relief she's seeking, it would be for the court to exercise its discretion in respect of whether that quantum of amount she's looking out for is meritorious, it matches up to the moral and reputational damage as she claims, and as to how that will be calculated, that will be the discretion of the court. So what she's seeking to do is challenging the very foundations of all of that. She also says that the exercise of the fiat under Article 146(10) to suspend her was not done right. And that those are the very reasons that she's saying that the whole thing is against her human rights. Now, the point to note is whether before I come in with the point to note is that the Attorney General also challenges the fact that it was not done unilateral. It is never against Article 146. Nothing has been breached and all of that. It is true that no process, no constitutional provision has been breached. I would want to shudder into the case of Frank Chum.
Sunrise on 3FM, the best in the morning.
Justice Dateba had an interesting discussion on the suspension and these issues about prima facie. Now, the learned jurist in his erudite judgment considered issues about the fact that would we always pin two judges of the Supreme Court down to look at matters in the situation where the weightiness in it are not so supervening. Now, this brings in the question of when further in the judgment, the learned judge identified that there are inherent problems with Article 146 that needs to be addressed. Now, over the years, Parliament has failed by way of addressing this problem. And it is a reason I found judicial happiness when the learned colleague, that is the majority leader, he's a lawyer, indicated that the party or government would put in a constitutional regulation or a subsidiary regulation to deal with that particular matter, so to cure some of these problems. So these are the matters that is before the ECOWAS.
But the council, sorry, is it not strange that the Chief Justice is asking for equity? She's asking for the laws to be obeyed. She says the laws have been flouted. But a process that was supposed to be held in camera, she came out there to address the public, giving us a blow-by-blow account, details of everything else that is supposed to be in camera. How do you demand for what is lawful to be lawful, and you do what some lawyers have called lawless?
Yes, I agree with you. If you can quote me right on your platform, your TVC and also your subsidiary media houses, I am quoted to saying that what she did was unconstitutional. Again, if you look at the case that I just cited, the court had maintained that when we say in camera, it is never public. And it is also the reason why the Supreme Court declined the supplementary affidavit that she sought to incorporate into her main application, because the Supreme Court was of the view that if they are inclined to have it incorporated, then it would mean that they are enjoining themselves to an illegality that would infract on Article 1468. And that is the very point that the Frank Chum, the Attorney General, frowned upon. And also, if you look at the Ghana Bar Association versus Attorney General, also eruditely speaks to that. So the whole essence of that is to protect the integrity of the office of the Chief Justice. And also the integrity of the judiciary as well.
Great. Leverage Chris Malmahesewe, thank you very much indeed for your time. He's a private legal practitioner. We're always happy to have you.
Thank you so much.
Great. Jimega, there's fresh news coming in here that says that regarding the removal of the Chief Justice, suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu has filed a fresh action at the High Court asking for declaration that Shining Stars, one of the organizations behind one of the petitions, does not exist in law. So the Chief Justice is at the ECOWAS court, but she's also here in Ghana asking questions about whether or not a body is qualified to. I mean, as we close, this is just fresh information coming in that I decided to bounce off you. But what do you leave us with?
Good morning to my senior who just spoke. I guess he's not aware I'm here. He's a fine lawyer.
Right.
We are in a number of cases.
Right.
Yeah, he's a fine lawyer. You ask him a question whether with what is going on in Ghana and what is going on in ECOWAS, will the proceedings here be...
Right, will they be stalled? Right.
He didn't really come to that. I would describe what the Chief Justice is doing as patrolling. He's trying to gather everywhere. I mean, trying to fish everywhere to see where the solution will be like. You see, it has become an poto type of thing she's doing.
Pardon?
Poto. You know what is a poto?
Yeah, I know poto. Yes, Irish too.
Yes, that's the sort of thing she's doing. It is not well defined.
It's not fair to say it's in poto.
No, it's not well. You see, you are here. Octopus type of thing. You are here, you are there, you are here. I mean, which one? Where are we? We have a number of cases at the Supreme Court which have not been determined.
Right.
We have the High Court one on her rights, which have not been determined. We have the ECOWAS one, which has not yet been determined.
And this new one.
This one, I mean, come on. Assuming that we only have the Attorney General themselves are just our lawyers. Would they be able to handle all
Are you saying that the Chief Justice is abusing the court process?
I think so. That is why I am saying that the reputational damage she's trying to do. Let me give you an example. You remember a certain judge called Tim Utaderi?
Yes, in the Anas
case. You knew he went everywhere.
Right.
What was the end? He was removed as a judge. And it was through the say 146. Article 146. Okay? So, and at a stage, you realize that he was causing more damage to himself than the Bible says everything is allowed unto man, but
not everything is permissible.
That is it. So with my learned senior saying that she's allowed, yes, she's allowed to do all, But the end thereof is what we are looking at. So now she's in the High Court now. They are going to bring out contents of the petition.
Right.
And again, are we in camera again? No. She has exposed another thing. So, but perhaps, in one of her petitions, I think the one she brought herself to the Supreme Court, one of the applications, she referred to the petition. And the Attorney General said that petition violates the constitutional provision.
Right.
And the Supreme Court agreed. Perhaps this High Court judge might agree that what you have brought before me is violating that. But I will not end without saying good morning to a little girl called Rochelle, who's celebrating her birthday today.
Happy birthday to Rochelle. We wish him long life and prosperity. Kojo Jemega, engineer and lawyer.
That is
Thank you very much indeed for your time.
Pleasure.
We're grateful that you could join us here this morning. And